Hi, I'm Brian Benitez, Senior Client Success Manager here at complianceHR. Today, I want to walk through a scenario that can easily get overlooked when managing a multi-state or remote workforce. Let's say you have an employee who's currently classified as exempt, but they're moving from one state to another. Their title, salary, and responsibilities may not have changed, but their work location has. So the question for HR is, does the move affect their exemption status? Let's take a look at how the Risk Center can help evaluate that change and identify any potential compliance risk. We'll start by creating the evaluation by simply going to the Risk Center and creating the evaluation here at the top right-hand corner. We'll select Overtime Exempt. We'll also select the new jurisdiction where the employee will be working from. So let's say they're making a move from Arizona to California. We'll select California since this is the new state that they'll be working in, and the name of the position, Operations Manager. We'll simply create the evaluation, and as you can see, a brand new evaluation has been created. So even though the employee's role hasn't changed, the applicable state requirements may be different. Risk Center allows us to evaluate the employee based on the requirements that apply to their new jurisdiction. So opening up the actual questionnaire, we'll be asked the employee's compensation and the actual job responsibilities. We'll look at whether their compensation satisfies the applicable salary requirements and whether their primary duties continue to meet the requirements for the exemption. And this is important because exemption status isn't based on job title. We need to consider what the employee actually does and the requirements that apply where they're working. So as you can see, we can select the current compensation. So let's say they are salary, and we're entering their current salary. We'll go through the entire questionnaire, entering answers for education and training, job duty selection, field and type of work, and so forth. And now let's review the results once we've fully completed an assessment. And I have one ready here for us. So once I've completed an assessment, Risk Center provides the results. Here I can quickly see whether the employee's move creates a potential classification concern, if the assessment identifies potential risk. HR now has a specific area to investigate rather than having to manually research the requirements from scratch. I could also understand my risk. I could dig into the assessment and understand what's driving the result. This gives HR and legal more context around the potential issue and helps determine what the appropriate next steps might be. That could mean reviewing compensation, taking another look at the employee's duties, or escalating the situation for additional legal review. Once the review is fully complete, I can save the evaluation and maintain a record of the assessment by clicking the download button at the very top. This gives the organization documentation showing that the employee's exemption status was reviewed following the change in work location. So in this scenario, we had an employee who was already classified as exempt, but was moving to a new state. Risk Center allows us to identify the employee's new jurisdiction, review their compensation, evaluate the actual job duties, consider the applicable state-specific requirements, identify potential misclassification exposure, and document the evaluation. The key takeaway is that the employee's relocation can be a good trigger to revisit their exemption status rather than assuming the existing classification automatically carries over. If your organization has employees working remotely or across multiple states, Risk Center can help create a more consistent process for reviewing exemption status when circumstances change. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next walkthrough.